Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of the Misfit podcast. We have quite a few things to talk about leading into the Open, so we're going to go ahead and get some housekeeping stuff out of the way first before we get into the meat and potatoes of your questions. So go right ahead, Drew.
Got a couple things we want to talk about with the comments section of the website. First of all, we've got, how many comments do we get a day, would you say?
Around 80.
Around
80 to 100.
And we've got over 200 people saying that they want to be on the custom leaderboard. So for us to make sure your programming's great, to be able to talk to you guys, to be able to answer your questions, please use the comment section of the website. Because of our athletes, some of our team athletes, some of our higher level athletes, guys like Travis Williams and Alexis, spend a lot of time on there, and they actually help us out a lot with answering questions. So I get a lot of emails from you guys, and it's not always easy to answer the questions the way that I want to and give everybody a good answer. So I'd really like it, we would really like it if you guys would start directing your questions to the comment section, because they get answered quickly. And sometimes, you want the answer from an athlete rather, Seth and I, we are somewhat athletes, kind of, and
debatable.
But we're more, we're more on the coaching side. So sometimes you might have a question that, you get a little bit more of a unique perspective from somebody who's dedicated, most of their waking hours to doing this. So
you can get multiple correct answers too.
Absolutely.
From different perspectives. So I think it's good to throw it out there to the community. We'll always jump on the questions when we see them, but to get somebody else's opinion never hurts either, especially within the community we've kind of built. So
absolutely. And the guys that you don't see on there, why aren't you on there, Cody?
Answer yourself. Speak.
He's not even going to say anything. The guys that aren't on there will be on there here very soon. Joe Carney, Cody Mooney, Matthew Sherburne. Gabe's on there pretty good.
Yeah, Gabe does a good job.
So we're going to start nudging them in your direction to be able to answer your questions and become a little bit more part of the community, like our model citizens down in the South Central. The next thing, we get a lot of emails asking how the process for hosting a training camp goes. We are going to dedicate a page to that on our site, and it's going to be up pretty soon. Basically, what you're going to have is either a little video explanation or a little bit of a write-up, just telling you guys what the process is like. And there's going to be an actual application on the site in a form that you guys can fill out that'll go directly to us. We do have a minimum, and you guys sign a little contract that covers both you and us, saying that there'll be at least 20 attendees, and that hasn't been an issue in the last 6 months or so. But this way you can go on there, you can read about it, kind of answer a lot of the questions for yourself, and decide whether you still want to try to host a training camp. We do have one opening right now in April. Pretty short notice, but if there is a camp out there, there's a box out there that wants to try to host a camp in April, you can get in touch with us, and then we will not be hosting camps again until after regionals. So you can go ahead and wait until the application comes up, and if you'd like to be part of our summer tour, just fill out the application. There'll be a little bit of a section at the bottom that will kind of help you guys separate yourselves. Let us know if people in your box follow the programming, if you do, why you want to host the camp, all that good stuff. So keep an eye out for that. We'll announce it on Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
Do you have a script? Because you're doing really well right now.
I think it's the coffee.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's the coffee.
I just don't have that in me today.
I'm going to go ahead and skip the next one. Let's go ahead and get into the questions. You have those up over
Yeah.
there? All right, let's get into the questions.
All right, we had a bunch of good ones. Some on topic, some off topic, but I like them all. So what will be our schedule for the open week with the flush days, and how will other days of training work? So that's from Archie Bass. So the schedule for the open week will still be prioritized by training. So yes, it is competition season, and yes, we are going to give you 2, maybe even 3 shots at the workout between Thursday and Sunday. However, if most of you guys that are following the blog, considering we write it for regionals level athletes, we're expecting a lot of you guys to have done the work already and to be pretty much good to go for the Open. So we're going to start focusing on moving things towards the next step. You have to be able to stay in shape while your mind is going crazy, wondering if your last score was good enough. And so we're going to keep things fairly simple, but on track to keep you in shape and to lead you into the next stage if you do make it there.
I'd say the two biggest differences from like a logistics standpoint, Wednesday is going to be a rest day. Instead of Thursday, we are going to program suggested mobility, rest, all that good stuff on Wednesdays. Try to keep you guys on task. This is definitely the Open's 7-day-a-week job. There aren't going to be any actual full days off. And then we're going to schedule the first attempt on Fridays. And then we're going to try to help you guys out and give you a little bit of a roadmap on Saturday and Sunday. So let's say you want to redo the workout on Sunday. We might post for Saturday, but we'll give you guys a couple of different avenues to take. We'll try to make it as least confusing as possible on the website, but we're going to give you guys a couple of different scenarios so that you still feel like everything's structured and you're not kind of letting things fall by the wayside, because that can definitely happen in the Open. Friday through Monday is a pretty stressful time. So,
yeah.
We hope that it's 2 and done. But in a lot of circumstances, we might be going for that third one, and that's going to be a situation where you might want to pop into the comments section and say, what do you guys think? Obviously, we are going to know, we're going to be able to tweak the programming once we know what the workouts are. So, that Monday stuff, if there was thrusters supposed to be in it and you just did, 400 of them on the weekend, that's going to get changed around. So you might be able to redo it again Monday and then still get a strength and maybe an interval piece in, whatever it is. So we're going to try to give you guys as many suggestions as we can on the site. The site's going to be very interactive during the Open, so that we give you guys some structure that you can jump onto even if things kind of go wrong a little bit. And then
I'll be flying by the seat of my pants trying to make sure that everything lines up with these workouts, because I realize that the centerpiece of each week is what the Open WOD is. So Monday through Thursday is really easy. Really easy to stay structured. The workouts will be varied. I'm not going to hammer somebody with 300 front squats in a workout just to find out on Thursday that you have 300 front squats in an Open workout. So things will be smooth, intensity will be high, variance will be high. So hopefully by the time you hit your big full body flush on Thursdays leading into your attempts coming through the weekend, you'll be feeling pretty good and ready to go. So
cool.
And I'm not a believer that most people will be 2 and done this year. I totally foresee
it's on my wish list.
My cell phone's going to be blowing up from everyone that has my number asking me, okay, I did it this morning. I think I can get 10 reps more tonight, and I don't know if I have time to do it tomorrow. It's going to be...
Ted, can we get Seth's cell phone number to appear up over his head here?
No.
Because he's really good.
Comment
he's
section.
Quick typer.
Comment.
Loves group text. So...
I feel like I'm a hostage in group text constantly.
What's next?
So just reiterating again that before we jump to the next question, that the programming will be kind of day by day as we get the Open pieces, and the weekend will be up in the air. We'll decide what happens basically for the rest of the week after Thursday night. So you'll be getting the news as soon as we are. So next question from Tyler: what will loading, progression, reps, intensity, and taper look like for upcoming weeks? Also, what do you guys program a warm-up for each Open WOD to prime the body for the specific workout? Tyler Wright, CrossFit Mayday. Yes, the primer is supposed to be specific to the Open workout. We will make sure you guys have that as the workout comes out. And the loading, progression, reps, intensity, and taper, we kind of just answered all the other stuff with the exception of taper. There is no real tapering going on into the Open. It's here. Like, if we were going to taper you guys down leading into it, it would have been in coming weeks. But now we are at the point where you have to start doing work over the next 5 weeks, and we can taper you after the Open into regionals if you make that next step.
I think this is the perfect time for the disclaimer. That question kind of leads us into one of the biggest issues that we have with athletes that we don't work directly with is people freaking out and not working out during the Open.
Right.
When you get into like a really high volume cycle on the site, and like 2-3 weeks in, you feel really good. You know, you hit that Metcon and you're like, wow, this is making serious change. You've been doing a lot of work, right? When you go on vacation and come back, how do you feel when you go into a Metcon? You know what I mean? It's just a complete shock to your system.
Yeah.
You need to work out a lot during the Open, you know what I mean? Just as if you were doing regular training. You just have to be smart around the Open workout. You know, we have days, you know, Tuesday specifically, where there's, you know, we're gonna try to, you know, really inject some volume in on Tuesdays to really be able to, that's kind of the one day a week where we really feel like everybody's gonna be kind of ready to move on a little bit.
Right.
You've got to work out. You've got to stay on it. You've got to do all your pieces. It's really important, because come week 3, week 4, you're going to be a shadow of the person that you were week 4 of cycle 4.
This is exactly one of the reasons why we put retests of old open WODs back into the programming. Usually we're bigger on training pieces than testing pieces, but it makes perfect sense because A, you get to see the progression you guys have taken in just one season's time, or maybe a couple seasons depending on the WOD we choose, and B, it shows you that I can throw that in the middle of the week that I've already pounded you guys into the ground and you still PR'd by 90 reps, you still felt great, and you still can't believe the progress you're making, as we see from the comments on the site. So why would we treat the Open any differently? You're going to go into it, there may be a little bit of the unknown because there's going to be at least 4 workouts we've never done before, but you guys, like we said, are going to get multiple attempts, and we're going to put our heads together and come up with a game plan, and there's nothing to worry about. You just got to be able to keep training and keep working out throughout the Open. It's just like 5 more weeks of training. That's what it is. What do you think? Good?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna ask this question now. Okay. So, Connor Barron asks, do you believe in extraterrestrial life? Personally, I think it's completely arrogant to assume that in our vast universe we were the only living species out there. All religious beliefs aside, come on, man. The universe is gigantic. I don't know if there's ever been aliens on our planet. What do you think?
Oh man. Well, see, I listened. This is perfect, because I listened to a podcast like 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
that was all about this. There are hundreds of planets,
just like
kind of like ours, just in the Milky Way, just in our own
with
galaxy,
water and everything.
But the problem is, it was. Well, we're gonna get into some sticky.
Let's go.
Okay. The problem is, so many things happen by accident on Earth. The sequence of events in terms of photosynthesis and what, you know, created plant life and all these different things that turned into, and it's basically, astronomers say there's like thousands of aliens out there, and biologists say there's like there's a less than a 1% chance that in our own galaxy, but there's no way if the universe is ever expanding and there's nothing else out there.
I'm saying there's infinite possibilities of
Mars,
other life forms, and
might be in the mud.
If we have all these amazing accidents on Earth that have created all these issues, can you imagine the life or the definition of life we'd find in other places? It's just
the way the guy explained it
crazy.
Was if you took an infinite amount of monkeys and put them at a typewriter, one of them would type Shakespeare.
Absolutely, anything into infinity.
It's crazy, right?
One of them would type the exact transcript of this podcast back into infinity, right?
That'd be an awesome monkey.
That would be a great monkey. Okay, so a couple people were jumping on board with that question, so I absolutely believe in extraterrestrial life, without question. I just don't know if I've ever seen any. All right, so Jared Couch.
Not to be confused with Jared Crook. I thought this was a joke. Sorry, Jared.
Do you base open prep workouts off of previous open events, or is some of it just creativity? Yes. Yeah, of course we use some creativity just to keep it a little bit fresh, and open workouts aren't always designed to be the most high intensity. Sometimes they throw skills in there or things that really slow people down. You don't get to scale, things like that. So for training pieces, yeah, I mean, they're based off things I'm going to expect to see, movements I expect to see, patterns I expect to see. But as far as, you know, anything else, it's just writing more training for the open season. But yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for years now, and we know what we expect, and based off the team series, we have an idea of if it changes, we know the direction it's going to change in. So, yeah, we use our information to write our program. It's that simple.
The one of the things that's happened in CrossFit, I don't know if people noticed last year, but a lot of the top level CrossFitters couldn't beat their 2011 score in power snatch double under.
Right.
CrossFit has turned into what, or the sport anyways, has turned into what Coach Glassman kind of wanted it to in terms of people being pretty good at everything. Back in 2011, people were awesome at smashing their forehead into a wall. Like, just go, 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 go. Now, you have to spend so much time on rowing, on swimming, on Olympic weightlifting, all these different things. So I know personally that when I jump into the programming or the affiliate programming, that cycle 4 and then the stuff in the open programming, which is I assume is you're going to be writing similarly, I get that old feeling that like I can't even begin to control my heart rate. But what's good about it is it's really easy on the joints. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not hard on my body. It's hard on my psyche a little bit, but so it's good to have that feeling back, that like 2008, like, you know, just CrossFit, just like go, 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 can't breathe,
Right.
Can't, you know, orient myself, can't move a barbell the way I should be able to, all that stuff.
I get anxiety just thinking about the snatch double under water. It's so light I can actually do the workout with intensity, so it hurts so bad.
For those of you that weren't around in 2011, the site crashed.
Oh, right.
And they gave us 2 weeks
I forgot
to do 11.1, the first open workout. And our affiliate back then was in my garage. And I had silly aspirations of being a regionals athlete that year. And I did the workout like 12 times in my garage. So if no one was there, I would set a camera up. I actually broke part of my camera and most of my tripod. I threw about 400 hissy fits. That workout was messed up because like regionals before were programmed by just whoever hosted the regional or the sectional, and it was all heavy. So that's how I trained. And then it was
right.
It was 75 pounds? 75 pound power snatch and double unders. Ruined my life.
I think I did it 5 times in 2 weeks, and I got like the same. I got within like 6 reps of the same score.
You changed to clean and jerk one round. You'd come up with all these.
Oh yeah, I figured it out this time. No.
Yeah, there are going to be open podcasts every week to help you guys with these workouts, and what we won't be doing is giving you guys silly tricks that will supposedly make your score better than it would be, you know, if you had, you know, maybe you use a woman's bar and you add 610s to it and you tape your butthole shut, like.
Glue it, actually.
Yeah. If you do what you're supposed to do, you're going to get the same score.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Moving on.
All right, next question. So touch on the schedule, what it would look like after the Open, and is there an ideal time to jump in on the program, and basically who should not do this program. Well, everyone can do this program. It just depends on you, your coach, and your training partners, how you're scaling the program for you to make it appropriate. As far as following it exactly as it's written on the site, I mean, there are very few people that can probably follow every single thing on this. Unless you're in the top 100 in your region, it wouldn't be for you as written. But just like in anything in CrossFit, you can always scale it back, and that's what the majority of our followers actually do. So anyone can do it. As far as after the Open goes, we haven't really gotten to depth about that, but typically what we do is we back it down for a couple weeks and let people recover from basically 10 straight weeks of training without much break in there. And then we start to write regionals programming, but that's not going to be out there to the general public right away. So the regional stuff will be reserved for the athletes that actually qualified and are going to the next level. Everybody else will be working pretty much on their weaknesses and just trying to build back up for in preparation for cycle 1, which is after the game. So we have it's a lot more loose. There's less pieces to do typically during the summer. You get a lot more time to work on skills, weaknesses, things like that. We launch a new strength program. It's back to basics. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't make regionals, there's a pretty good chance that you don't have a good enough motor, you don't move well in gymnastics, or you're not very strong. I mean, those are kind of, that's, you know, you can pull things apart and you could get more in depth, but what we make sure is that you guys have enough of each to stay well-rounded and be able to kind of take a step back.
Yeah.
Your body does not want really high volume 12 months out of the year. So this is an opportunity for people to really back things down and clean them up and start to set a base to be able to get after it the following year. So
cool. How long of a break do you guys recommend to redo an open workout? Well, that depends on the workout. So you could have something like we talked about earlier with the snatch double under, where you're not even that beat up. It's just, you know, you went after it for 10 minutes or whatever it was, and it's just a training piece. It's just a testing piece, whatever, for the day. And you're not feeling the effects of it too badly. If you had the deadlift box jump from last year, a lot of people need a heck of a lot more time to recover for something like that than they would for the other one. So that's going to vary, and that's something we're going to be talking about specifically within the comments and on social media and everything like that. So we don't want you doing that multiple times in a day, that's for sure. Like Drew said earlier, 2 times is kind of ideal. I envision more people doing it 3 than we would be happy with, and I envision someone even going for it a 3rd time on a Sunday morning and hitting it a 4th time on a Sunday night because they're feeling desperate about it. So it's all going to be athlete to athlete, workout to workout, and we're going to try to make ourselves as available as possible to get down to the specifics about it. I don't think there's a catch-all answer.
No, there isn't. There isn't. I mean, it's one of those things where, let's say it was something that had, really high CNS demand. We would probably recommend a Friday, Sunday. We wouldn't want people going, Friday to Saturday. So Saturday would be dedicated to getting yourself as ready as possible for Sunday. But it's going to depend on the workout for sure.
And Solvig from Iceland asks us if we're planning to make room for 2 chances to do the open WOD. Yes, we are, as we talked about, at least. Nathan from the Dirty South. If I win the scaled division in the open, will Misfit sponsor me?
Who did he sign it as?
Signed it as Jared Crook. Nathan, that's not funny. Please keep it appropriate for future comments. Thank you. We'll sponsor you anyway. You know that. Nathan's like our ambassador to the South. He's the man. Ray Southward gives him a big LOL. All right, let's see. Will you guys do a summary of your recommendations on how to attack each workout after they are released? Yes, that is the point of the podcast that we'll be filming Thursday night right after the release of the workout, and hopefully will be released as early as possible on Friday for everybody. So nothing much else there. Question about recovery and staying healthy for the next 5 weeks. Advice, suggestions on that. Also, we all know how mentally brutal the open WODs are, and what I mean by this is how would you prepare mentally as you approach each one of them. And that's from Rod. CrossFit GSP. Oh, you want to jump in on that one?
Yeah. In terms of recovery, we're going to do our best to ease you guys, or help you guys along with that through the open. So there'll be suggestions on Wednesday, which is your rest day, to give you guys, specific things to work on. If it's a general consensus, let's say there's a heavy deadlift workout, there's a general consensus that everybody's still smashed from that. We'll try to, put a flush in there that helps you guys specifically get rid of that. So that portion of it will be built into the actual programming itself. If this is your gig, if this is what you do, if this is what, your whole year is about, then you should already have a pretty good idea of, what kind of sleep you need, what kind of food works well for you to keep inflammation down. That stuff gets really serious during the open, and it could chop a full round off your workout if you're not being smart about it. So, and then what was the second part? The mental side?
Yeah, the mental side. So how would you prepare to approach each one? That's a really tricky blanket question.
Yeah, no, that's tough because we are. I guess I'm not going to answer it directly because our athletes deal with it in very, very different ways, and it works for them. You got to be honest with yourself, and you got to surround yourself with people that are going to help you be honest to yourself. So if someone's in a just a generic, everyone goes there just in a pissy mood one day, you got to surround yourself with people that are gonna push you a little bit in terms of, they know what you respond to, they know how to help you, and they also know when to say, let's go, sack up and get after it. Because, we could have Cody Nothing still? Okay. We could have Cody, answer this question for you guys, and we could have Joe Carney answer this question for you guys, and you're going to get pretty different answers from both of them, and both of them are about to lay waste to the Open. So it's definitely person to person. Put yourself in a good situation to succeed. Good coaches, good training partners, all that stuff.
Yeah, and hit the workouts with your training partners. So don't try to hit this alone. If you have somebody that everyone has somebody that's better than them in their gym, except for Cody. Nothing. Okay. So everyone has somebody they can chase. So if you do a workout with someone that's better than you, you are going to try to get to their level, and it may only give you one extra rep. It may give you a whole extra round. You just don't know. So don't try to do this alone. Try to find someone you know is probably better than you at that workout and chase them the whole way. It's going to give you the best shot for success if you don't know what to expect. Moving on to Yami from CrossFit Prestige. We just met her down at the camp at the training pit. Specific mobility, rest, recovery. We just talked about recovery, so specific mobility for the open workouts. We'll probably give you guys a couple suggestions on parts of your body to open up or mobilize. You can check out things like K-Star's blog, check out Mobility WOD, all those. What's the other one? ROM WOD. Yep. Is there any more?
I mean, there's plenty of resources out there for generic physiology.
They're going to jump on the social media. They'll say, oh, 15.1's released. This is how you open up your shoulders for this. It's how you do that. Just pay attention. Like, the information is going to be flooding out there as soon as the open WOD comes out. And there are people much more qualified than probably us to speak about what's most beneficial. Like I said, we'll give you guys suggestions, but just get on the internet, man. Everyone will be talking about this stuff. Anything you want to add to that?
No, your goal pre-workouts to get your heart rate spiked and make sure your joints are loose. If we're talking about mobility, we're probably talking about post-workout. We're talking about recovery. We're talking about if you're actually trying to make changes with mobility, you should probably be doing most of that post-workout. So that's only directly related to recovering from.
And hopefully we've addressed these issues throughout the season as we lead up to this, and you're not just finding out that you can't squat to parallel now, right? A little late. So,
Do you think Austin will be able to squat to parallel by the Open?
I'm not betting on it. I don't know. He's been working on it. He's been doing his ROM WOD like every day.
That's true.
He's all
That's
over
true.
it.
When he wins,
he loves it.
when he beats you guys in the Open, you're all going to want to do ROM WOD.
That's
so
right.
I'm going to check that shit out.
Yeah, he loves it. What do you recommend food-wise, night before and day of the workout? So, I mean, food-wise, if it's working for you now, why are you going to change it for the Open? That's like one of the classic mistakes that we see in all different kinds of sports is you train a certain way, the competition is like a training piece, so why would you start changing it now? Maybe you pay a little more attention to what you're doing, but you're not going to make big changes and all of a sudden decide, oh, the Open's here, I'm going to go paleo now for the rest of the Open. It doesn't make any sense. So,
that is a terrible idea.
Yeah, it is. So just keep fueling up like you would. If you're able to survive this blog week in, week out, it means your fuel is probably about where it should be. I mean, everyone could use some tweaks here and there, but I wouldn't make the tweaks during testing weeks. That wouldn't work for me.
Probably the two quick notes that I would have on that is your body's always trying to get back to homeostasis, which is like your level. And if your level is, got some kind of dirty stuff in it, then you might have to stick with that through the Open, and you don't want your body fighting to get to somewhere that it's not. And then the other part of it would be, CrossFit, plain and simple, depletes glycogen big time. So you have to make sure I don't think it matters what type of workout it is. It's that hard. So you just have to make sure you're getting glucose sources. It's pretty plain and simple. And you should know that already, and you should be doing that already.
So what you're saying is Alexis should continue to eat about 10 Quest bars a day.
Yeah, we'll address that post-Open.
Okay. Is the programming meant to have athletes peak for the Open, regionals, or games? Again, all of the above.
Yes.
That is the whole point of our blog. That's exactly what we do, is we peak CrossFit athletes for the CrossFit Open. We peak athletes that are getting ready for regionals and qualified for regionals. and then we bring anyone that's going to the games up to Maine for a couple weeks, and that's just interesting. I don't even know.
That's dirty business. You don't even want to be part of that.
You can ask Jordan. You can private message Jordan Crook online.
Can we get his cell phone number up on here?
Yeah, get his cell phone number up.
Yep.
He doesn't even have an iPhone, so you can't like.
The only thing he wants to know is your score. That's all he wants to know.
Right.
You text him your daily WOD score. He doesn't like chit chat.
No time for that. Too many WODs to be done. He does like every piece on the site every day against all of our wishes.
I can't believe you agreed to my sentence that Jordan doesn't like chit chat.
Oh, not on the phone. Unless does he respond to you often?
Oh, not via text. I was more referencing some of your late night phone calls with Jordan.
Oh yeah. If you get on the phone with him, he'll trap you on the phone. If you get him in person, he can trap you like he just keeps walking towards you, and then your back's against the wall. Next thing you know, I don't really know what he's talking about anymore, but I'm still stuck there.
He's excited though.
Yeah, he's pumped. He's telling you about his workout and his training session from 4 months ago. It's really awesome. But he doesn't like texting.
No.
Jordan. That's the questions.
All right.
That's it. And actually, you guys did such a good job. There really isn't that much to talk about with. I have nothing to talk to you about with the actual layout of what the training is going to look like. We covered how you're going to have 3 days leading into the announcement of the Open. We covered that we're going to allow at least 2, if not 3 opportunities to retest. There's going to be a 30-minute flush done on Thursdays leading into your first attempt on Fridays. The key to these weeks, outside of doing the open WODs, is making sure that you're training and staying fresh. So we're not going to try to beat you up too badly, but we are going to make sure you continue to train. What else you want to add?
So I know that if we don't address this now, we're going to get some emails about it, so we will really quickly. The lifting, there will still be lifting in the open programming. It will be in that kind of 80% range where we're positive that you guys are still going to move fast, and we don't need to put a lot of reps in to make a little bit of adaptation. You'll be squatting, snatching, cleaning, and then possibly if you breeze through the open workout and you're first in the world, you don't have to redo it. A lift on the weekends as well that will be chosen based on what the open workout is. But other than that, I think we've covered it pretty well.
Okay, you ready for the lightning round?
Yeah, do we want to get our shameless plugs in now or after?
Let's do it now. We'll end with a lightning round.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So we provide programming for free, and we try to answer your questions as best we can. So for you guys to help us out, head to misfitgear.com. That's where you can find our shirts and hats and sweatpants and all that good stuff.
Nice stuff.
And then you can also support us without spending any money. Follow us on Instagram at Misfit Athletics. Like our Facebook page, Misfit Athletics. And a big one now with these podcasts coming out is going to be subscribe to our YouTube channel. And there's going to be a button that you guys can just click to subscribe. I think you only need to be logged into Google, something along those lines, and then you guys will get email notifications when we do a new podcast.
Sounds so easy.
Yeah, it's very easy. All right, lightning round.
All right,
let's go.
You got the questions up. We'll go back and forth.
All right.
I'll start. Oh. Yeah, I'll start.
To one more. To sign up to be on the custom leaderboard if you haven't yet.
Right.
misfitathletics.com/Team Misfit 2015. We want to get those comments up to like 250, 300 people. So if you want your name, if you follow the programming, you want your name on the custom leaderboard, go ahead and go there. The instructions are right on the post. All right. You can start. Mine's just...
All right, this is going to be quick though. Ready? How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop?
106. What's my favorite color?
I hope it's purple.
Sure.
All right. How quickly can Cody field dress a rabbit?
26 minutes.
That seems slow.
What is the Open? Big Davey C usually just texts me my invite for regionals.
I never heard of the Open. I don't know. Does Joe Carney keep a roll of quarters in his tights, or does he really just love working out?
Joe makes everybody feel uncomfortable with his tights, even here. So I don't even want to address that question. Next. What's Tyler McBride's deal?
He's just the man. I don't know.
He's high on life.
He loves life. He's on that grind. He's up before me every morning. I mean, he's just the man. I don't know. If Seth was a cartoon character, which character would I be?
Wow, that's tough. I think it'd be a cross between some days it's Eeyore and some days it'd be the evil, like, Pinky and the Brain guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Who do you think?
Stu.
Stu?
Yeah.
Who's Stu?
Like Stewie?
Stu? Gabe thinks Stewie from
Family Guy
has now grown up and is referred to as Stu.
Stu. Awesome. Okay, last question. Is Sherb single? He's hot.
He says he's not, but he's always at the gym and his girlfriend's not, so you might have a chance.
That's true. And with that, we will leave you until...
Who do we think Turd Ferguson really is? Who's your guess?
Oh, yeah, that was submitted by Turd Ferguson. Man, I feel
Gotta
like...
be Joe Silvestri, right?
11:08
Or him and Cam, like we're on like a video chat and we're giggling writing this for like 25 minutes.
I'm trying to think. I bet it's someone sneaky. Yeah, probably Joe Silvestri. Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. Like you said, subscribe, and we'll be back the Thursday after the Open announcement. You'll get it Friday morning with our take on 15.1. So keep training until then.